What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cosmat Wrestling. I'm Metacarpio alongside Kyle Arata.
What's going on, man?
Let's go through another Monday Night Raw just 1 week before Summerslam. Well, Raw opens up with none other than the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre coming down to the ring as we cut to a promo with Randy Orton and Ric Flair's last segment last week on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, Drew pretty much sums up how he brutalized his former friend, Ric Flair, and how he did not see that coming, seeing how Randy Orton was mentored by Ric Flair for almost 25 years.
During this promo, nothing could have gotten any more weird as the graphics on the TV started to glitch out, showing different angles that they would never really cut to. They even cut to matches we were going to see throughout the night. They cut to commentary. It was really weird. Then all of a sudden, we cut to the production truck as Retribution is demolishing the inside of the truck, also throwing around the crew and some laptops.
Yeah, they were destroying.
What was really weird is they even threw a production guy against the wall as the guy pressed a red button and we went right to commercial. It was pretty cool.
We come back with Drew McIntyre giving a pep talk to the rest of the Raw locker room. Seth interjects saying he's the Monday Night Messiah, and if anybody should be leading them, it should be him.
We then cut to the Hurt Business as they make their way down to the ring as MVP calls out Retribution, as MVP says Apollo actually has something to do with Retribution. Apollo Crews then comes out saying MVP is trying to create distraction. He claims Apollo will lose his U.S. title and go back to the catering business. He sends Shelton Benjamin and Bobby out to attack Apollo as we then cut to commercial.
We then come back from commercial with Apollo Crews facing off against Shelton Benjamin. It's a pretty good back and forth match until the Motorcycle Ninjas and Akira Tozawa interject themselves, trying to win the 24/7 championship back. Apollo Crews, off this distraction, won the match by roll-up.
You know, we then cut to Demi Burnett. Oh, Demi. She is hot. Well, she's backstage with none other than Angel Garza and Ivar, half of the Viking Raiders, as Ivar invites her to Raw Underground. Garza then tells Ivar to meet him in the ring next for their match as we then cut to commercial break.
Dude, what is Ivar, the ladies' man? What do you even give her, like a turkey leg or something?
He gets all of them.
I mean, jeez. We then come back from commercial break with the match between Ivar and Angel Garza. The match was a good back and forth. Ivar hitting a seated senton.
You know, Garza then took out Ivar after kicking him in the face from a quick interruption by Andrade. Then we cut to Dawkins and Demi. Oh, I love Demi. They're shown on the big screen as Dawkins says that he's going to reveal Angel Garza. Samoa Joe is then caught on commentary and explains how the footage was received by looking through security footage due to Retribution, as Angel Garza was seen through the view findings. So what's going to happen next is pretty interesting.
We then cut backstage with Angelo Dawkins running the tape with a producer backstage, showing that it was actually Zelina Vega, not Andrade or Angel Garza, that poisoned him.
You know, it was actually Zelina who poisoned him, and you could see that because there was a red Solo cup in one of Montez's Ford's crown that he always wear. And Dawkins claims how his brother wants the smoke as we see Ford come down to beat Andrade and Garza. So this is pretty cool to see, but now we know who the poisoner is.
Yeah.
Natalya and Mickie James square off in the ring as Seth and Murphy then walk down to commentary during this match as Seth asks Joe how Samoa Joe knows Ray will be here tonight. The match was still going on with Natalya as Natalya took a win over Mickie as she couldn't take the count of 10. This was weird.
Seth Rollins then takes the microphone saying if Dominic or Ray shows up tonight, neither one of them will make it to SummerSlam.
Next up, we see the Golden Role Models make their way down to the ring. Bayley says she will face Asuka first at SummerSlam, then let Sasha face her to pick up the remains to retain that women's title without breaking a sweat.
Does that mean Asuka could really win both women's titles in one night?
It does, but honestly, I think she might.
Shayna Baszler then comes out saying whoever has that Raw Championship after SummerSlam, she's up next for the challenge.
I think Shayna wants to smoke. This is going to be interesting. But then Asuka then comes out screaming. Whenever Asuka comes out screaming, I want to kill myself.
Dude, she means business, but no one can understand her even when she tries to talk slow, perfect English.
She was saying how she wants to fight both women as she fights them rushing towards the ring. We start the match with Asuka and Shayna versus the Golden Role Models.
Sasha knocks Shayna out of the ring. Out of nowhere, we see Nia Jax break through the plexiglass.
You know, her and Shayna square off while the tag match continues as Asuka then hits the Role Models with a hip attack. We cut to commercial and then come back with Asuka having a 2-on-1 match after Shayna is chased out of the ring by the Rhino Nia Jax. Sasha gets her way in the ring, putting Asuka into a submission as Shayna then later comes back and helps her friend out.
With Asuka and Sasha outside of the ring, Shayna Baszler taps out Bayley with that rear naked choke.
Then we cut to Cedric, Ricochet, Ali, and Apollo Crews backstage as Apollo then picks Ricochet and Ali for their match tonight. Randy Orton is then shown on camera as we then fade to black.
We then come back from commercial with the great Shawn Michaels giving Drew McIntyre a pep talk saying how he's come too far to give up now.
We then see the Riot Squad and the Iconics throwing words at one another as we are set to see Peyton Royce versus Ruby Riott next. But in the corner, we then cut to Shayna Baszler talking to Jessie Manduke and Marina Shafir. This was interesting to see. So I think some Raw Underground action was going to be produced later on tonight, so I was interested to tune in. We then cut to Ruby Riott versus Peyton Royce. Peyton hits that hard deja vu on Ruby after an interference with Liv and Billy outside the ring. But honestly, I don't even care about this match. I just care about seeing Liv Morgan.
Kind of a weird guy, man, aren't you?
I love Liv Morgan.
We then cut to that big security guard backstage guarding the door to Raw Underground. Shane McMahon inviting us to the new Raw Underground.
We then cut to Raw Underground with Eric from the Viking Raiders just demolishing a guy. Then Dolph Ziggler says he rates it a 4 out of 10 next to Shane McMahon, as then Eric prompts Dolph to take him on, but Dolph put Eric out through that sleeper hold. I haven't seen him put the sleeper on in a while.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. It showed their wrestling skills. It was a pretty good match.
I liked it. I think Dolph in Raw Underground is really good. He's a really good actual wrestler, and I don't mind seeing him
show his skills.
Actually jobbing other people out than him jobbing out.
Yeah.
We then cut to Rey Mysterio alongside his son Dominic as they come out to ring. Rey says there is no doctor on this earth to stop him from protecting his son Dominic. Rey says he will be in Dominic's corner come SummerSlam. Then Seth Rollins shows up on big screen alongside Murphy, saying this all could have been prevented if Rey accepted his role in the greater good.
Rey then tells Seth and Buddy Murphy to come down to the ring, Seth obliging and telling him to stay right there.
All of a sudden, Seth and Murphy walk down to the ring as Rey lures the Messiah and Murphy to the front of the ring as Dominic slides through the back of the ropes and hits them hard with kendo sticks. So a little bit of retribution here, if you want to say.
We then see Cedric Alexander backstage, interrupted by MVP saying how the offer that MVP offered him is still on the table.
You know, I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Hurt Business.
I think it would be a good move for him, but I think they're going to keep him face for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but sooner than later I would like to see him in the business.
Yeah.
We then cut to in-ring action as we cut to Riddick Moss versus Arturo Vidal in Raw Underground. This was a good fight. Talk about a fight field here, Kyle.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we then cut to Ali, Apollo Crews, and Ricochet take on the Hurt Business in an elimination match as Ali is first eliminated by Bobby Lashley. Benjamin then shortly after eliminated Ricochet. Then Apollo is the only one but eliminated Shelton Benjamin. Cedric then comes out of nowhere and pins Shelton for that 24/7 title.
Yeah, pretty much sticking it to the Hurt Business. Apollo Crews eliminates MVP with his huge toss-up powerbomb.
You know, leaving Apollo versus Bobby, but Bobby then hits Apollo with that huge spear to get that win for his team. But then we see Shayna Baszler shown with her training partners Jesselyn and Marina talking to Shane McMahon backstage. So this has got me interested.
We then kind of come back with a filler match, as you could call it, with Akira Tozawa facing Cedric Alexander for his newly won 24/7 championship.
Cedric then hits Akira with a lumbar check to retain his new title reign. Shelton then comes out of nowhere and wins the title off of Cedric Alexander. We then cut to Raw Underground with Marina submitting her opponent as Nia Jax comes out of nowhere. As we can see, Marina take on Nia Jax, but right before this happens, Nia rolls right out of the ring. Talk about a teaser. I would have loved to see this. Nia Jax on Raw Underground, oh man, she would dominate.
We then cut to a match between Andrade and Montez Ford. Montez Ford coming off that scary incident that he had a few weeks ago.
You know, Bianca Belair then just comes out of nowhere. I like seeing Bianca on TV here on Raw.
Yeah.
Even with her husband too, she just takes out Zelina Vega, hitting her hard onto that mat outside of the ring, allowing Ford to pin Andrade. She hit her hard. I love this fire in Zelina and Bianca's eyes.
For women, she's definitely a powerhouse, man.
We then cut to the last segment of Raw as Shawn Michaels comes out to the ring claiming there would be no Big Show, no Triple H, no Batista, no Drew McIntyre, no John Cena, nor a Randy Orton if it was not for the Nature Boy Ric Flair. You know, he says Randy will see it coming, either from a Claymore or a sweet chin music come SummerSlam. Then Randy Orton comes out of nowhere and hits an RKO and a huge punt to Shawn as Drew then comes out on Shawn's aid. Drew throws him over the announcer's table as Drew then goes back to check on Shawn Michaels as Randy comes back into the ring slithering with a nice RKO to end the show.
Dude, this was fast-paced action to end the night.
You know, could this be a glimpse of what comes Sunday? Randy Orton standing tall?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, guys, that was this week's Monday Night Raw. Let us know what you liked most about this week's Monday Night Raw in the comments. And always make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys.
Peace out.
Don't